Hi, lovely friends. Dr. K here, the Essential Musician. Today, if you're watching this later, this is the middle of August 2021. And in Canada, in Ontario, where I live, we are still 3 weeks away from the start of class. Now, I know that some of my viewers live in the US and have already gone back to class. I'm a professor, so I've lived my entire life according to the rhythms of the school year, and very often we start the school year in our department saying Happy New Year, because it really is like a new year for us. This is like our new year. So what I wanted to talk about today, this is kind of aimed at the timing that I live in, which is we're still 3 weeks away from the start of class, but it also can apply to you at any point where you are in your journey, and it's all about starting your morning routine before you're going to need it. So let's see. I always pull up my blog post so I don't go off script, and I've already gone off script. Anyway, so why should we start it soon? We should start it soon because it's going to take a little bit of time for a routine to stick, right? And then you're going to need to have, I'm skipping ahead. You're going to need the time to reflect, review, and revise the steps. So you need time for these things to settle in. So if you are like me and you're 3 weeks away from the start of class, now is the time to really get this thing going. So how do you start planning your morning routine? One of the things that, before I started really figuring out this whole morning routine, I used to think a couple of things. I used to think that the morning routine had to start at a specific time. And I used to think that in order for it to be worth it, it had to have certain things in it in a certain order, or there was no point. Perfectionist much, maybe? Here's what I want you to think about, and I don't think I put this in my blog post, but it should go in there. Your morning routine can be rehearsed no matter when you start it, as in what time in the morning you start it. You can start it at 6. I think my back to school morning routine is going to start at 6, which is very early for me. I'm a night owl here. 6 is like very early, because it means I have to go to bed at 11, which is very early, right? We're night owls, you know what I'm talking about. Okay, my morning routine is going to start at 6, I think. Am I rehearsing it starting at 6? No, of course not. No, if I don't need to be up at 6, I'm not going to get up at 6. I can start it at 7, right? And that's okay. It's all about figuring out what steps you want to do in what order. And now we're going to get further into this. It's a little more complicated when you live with other people, right? So anyway, how to start planning your morning routine. If you don't already have a morning routine for yourself or your family, it's important to start small. Here's what you do. First, notice what you do in your morning right now. Figure out notice what's in your routine right now. Review, is it working? Do you have a routine? Are you intentional about your routine? Revise, can you fix something that's not working? Okay, so I'm not saying you got to get up and do the journaling and run the 5K and all that stuff, though you can, but this is not what we're talking about. We're talking about just getting up in the morning and knowing what to do to get yourself out of the house on time and the rest of your people out of the house on time. So notice what's in your routine right now. Review, is it working? Revise, can you fix something that's not working? Repeat, fix the thing and try again. Where are you getting stuck? So one point of revision might be, how come I hit snooze and I go back to sleep? There's something you need to revise. Let's figure out how you're going to revise that. Okay. Notice the things. Maybe notice where you're getting stuck. Oh, I'm into notice now. Notice where you're getting stuck. Are you getting stuck because you don't know what clothes to put on when you get up? Notice. You can't change it. You can't fix it if you don't notice. So in the blog post, there is a PDF download. Grab the PDF. It's basically a time audit sheet. You can also just write it on a piece of paper. But write down all the things that go in your typical morning right now. Estimate how long things take. Each thing takes. This is a really important step. We tend to think that things take not as much time as they actually take. So for now, just write out your list. You can do it tonight. Write out your list of what you think you do in the morning with the timings. And then tomorrow, don't judge, just do it. Tomorrow, check against your list. How accurate were you? Okay. If you predict that you take 5 minutes in the bathroom to pee and brush your teeth, check the timing. Is that actually true? It's true for me because I've timed it. My wonderful husband thinks he takes 5 minutes. He doesn't take 5 minutes. So I know I have to work around that. Or are you someone who maybe sneaks some phone time in the bathroom? I know it's gross, but come on. We do it, right? All right. This is crucial to know too, because if there are other people in your house too who also need to use the bathroom in the morning, that's usually the point of congestion, right? Then, you have to work around each other. If you each think you take 5 minutes, but you actually take longer, this isn't going to be pretty on the first day of school when you all need to be in there at the same time. What do you do each morning before you leave the house? How long does each thing take? Write it down with timing. Start with you. Review it. Try your routine for a few days and see if what you think you're doing is what you actually are doing. Remember to review your timings. We get stuck here. We think things don't take as long as they actually take. As you do this, think ahead to how much time you're going to need in a busy school and work day. If your current routine takes you 2 hours, that might sound like a lot to you. Mine actually takes longer. If your current routine takes 2 hours, that's great. But it means you'll have to get up if it means you'll have to get up in the middle of the night to do it, maybe you'll need to tweak some things, right? So if you enjoy a 45-minute shower in the morning, but you know there are others who need to use the washroom too, maybe you'll have to figure that stuff out now too. Maybe you need to set a timer, or maybe you need to shift to evening showers, right? Busy mornings with 4 people in the house, 45-minute showers, that don't work. Have the other members of your family start to do this too. If you share spaces, this is going to matter. This is all about avoiding a screaming match in the morning when the time is tight. Revise. As you continue to notice and review, start to find spots in your routine where you're getting off course. Let's say you're planning for your morning routine to take 60 minutes, whatever you decide to put in there. It doesn't matter. Pro tip, doesn't matter what you put in your routine. It's nobody's business. You have to know how long it takes though. Okay, let's say you're planning for mode. Let's say you try out your 60-minute morning routine, but it actually takes you 90 minutes. What do? Pay really close attention to where you're getting stuck. If you think it's going to take 60, but it takes 90, notice where you get stuck. Do you hit the alarm and go back to bed? Do you waste time trying to find something to wear? These are things where I used to get stuck. I don't now because I fixed them. Remember to add time for putting on real pants and shoes with laces when you leave the house. Makeup? Actually doing my hair? Yikes. When's the last time I wore makeup? I don't even know. Here's a hint. Many people get stuck when they're faced with a decision. If you're getting stuck at a clothing choice, try setting out your clothes the night before. If it might take you 5 minutes at night, but it might save your family a stress explosion in the morning. So look for places where you're getting stuck, you might be in a spot where you're making a decision. Notice that stuff. Okay, repeat. Continue to look for these little things that derail your best intentions and see if there's a common thread. Figure out a solution to the problem and try again. It's important to remember to try one thing at a time. If you try to fix the clothes thing and figuring out breakfast and how long do lunches take in the morning and how long does each person take in a bathroom, that's a lot of things to change all at once. Pick one thing at a time. So this right here is exactly why you need to figure out things now. You'll notice I haven't told you to try and do your morning routine at a specific time. Remember I said I didn't think it made it into my post? It did. Look how smart I am. When we're on the summer schedule, we tend to think that our typical school day morning is tied to a specific schedule. Well, on a regular school day, it is tied to a specific schedule, but you can still rehearse the flow of the routine starting anytime you get up. The trick is to set your intention. Decide in advance what time you'll wake up and try this out. So what the heck am I talking about? Here's a suggestion. Let's say you're going to try your 60-minute morning routine, but you're still in summertime and you don't want to get up too early. So plan ahead to get up at 8 a.m. and try on your morning routine for size. Do all the things, pretend it's 6, but it's actually whenever you get up and just try it. Doesn't matter if you get up at the right time. It does when it matters, but when it doesn't matter, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if that 60-minute routine starts at 8 a.m. or 5 a.m. or 11 a.m. Doesn't matter. If you start the day with intention and a view for how long the routine takes, then at least you have a clear picture to start from. It's the length of time that's important, not the start time. Okay, night owls, you hear me, right? Rehearse. Okay, I've gone off script and added an extra category. It's one thing to figure out your own routine, but it's another thing to try to weave everyone's routines together to avoid collisions. Here's an example from my house. My daughter and I both have our own routines. We know each other's patterns well enough that we stay out of each other's way. We're both pretty grumpy in the morning, so this works well. She knows when I'm out of my home office, so she can practice in here. She practices there, right? But it's also my work room. And I make sure I have my AirPods and journaling stuff out of my office at night so I don't interrupt her when she's practicing. One funny thing about getting serious about a morning routine is when other people in your house want to start to do one too. We're in the Creative Night Owl's Guide to Effective Mornings right now, and one of our students in the class, she's saying, my husband's decided to join me in the morning. I'm like, that's great, tell him to stay out of your way. What did she say? It's me time, not social time, or something. Anyway, so when my husband jumped on the bandwagon, all of a sudden he was getting in my way in the morning because he takes longer in the bathroom than I do. So I have to get up 5 minutes before he does. Otherwise, my routine gets stuck when he's in the bathroom. So I solve it by me getting in there before him. It's just, I'm fast. And then I just go do my thing. No one wants mom to be grumpy in the morning. So mom needs to know when everyone else plans to get up. We still need to do the rehearsal thing in our house, especially around morning bathroom time. So this is very much on my mind. Anyway, good luck with this. Don't wait. Start it now. If you can get some of these ideas in place before the crazy starts, it will go a long way to lessening your back to school anxiety. This has been a weird stretch of time for so many of us, and there's a lot of anxiety right now about going back to school. And this isn't over. It's not over yet. Do yourself and your family a favor and figure this stuff out now to help ensure a smooth transition, as smooth a transition as possible when you add an earlier wake-up time and extra stress into the mix. So remember to go over to the blog post, grab the PDF, and to help you with your time audit, and let me know how you're doing. This is tricky. This can be really tricky. I would really love to know how you're doing. Leave a question or comment below, or shoot me a DM. I'd love to have a conversation with you, just, to see how you're doing. All right. Have a good one. Practice your morning routines. Bye.